You are welcome to Today Blog YouTube channel. Please subscribe, like and comment. In this video, we are going to react and see what is going on between Verydarkman, Abati and Abati. Where we say Abati don't collect woto as Verydarkman don't reply him about the ongoing issue of people who have been trafficking and they have been stuck in another country. Verydarkman spent almost 20 million to get them back to Nigeria. Where we say Verydarkman text say the work of Abati supposed to spend that money. She's supposed to get back on Nigeria that's been stuck in another country back to Nigeria but Abati he slash Verydarkman as Verydarkman give him back woto. Come and see the full video here because wahala don't happen, everything don't scatter.
My advice to Abati as his senior colleague, and I think that is a time you give it away or give it up to journalism. Reasons being that your judgment on the Verydarkman, calling him an ignorant because he was able to bring the details of people they traffic, small children of 10 years, 12 years they traffic to go to another country, and said he's giving Abati a week to bring them down. If you are that educated, you are too learned as you have claimed, you should know that Abati is under the Diaspora Commission. Even not tell the people to order trafficking, Abati have the right to call and to others to say, look, those people traffic, I need them in this country. We need to talk to the president, we need to talk to who and who in Nigeria. Call that young man, let's have a meeting. We were seeing that he was having a meeting. He has able to come up with 20 million donation on his foundation based on integrity and value. People invested that money. You are still sitting there so many years in career before Verydarkman was even born. You are not able to raise a dignity that can afford that or for you to say something, and you kind of ruffle everything. Now coming back again with where I see you are making mistake, you shut down your junior journalists like Rufai, Rufai several times, and the other young lady which never really show your professionalism and quality. You go ahead and say that a man that lost his wife because of 500,000 deposits in the hospital, that he should have made more money before he went and give birth to a woman. He should have prepared. Good, I clap for you. How many people in Nigeria, I'm not talking of your village, that have 500,000, and I also doubt, with all respect, I don't also know whether my father was having 500,000 before he gave birth to me. Neither your father was having 500,000 before he gave birth to you. That is misjudgment. That is misinforming the public. That shows that you are not showing empathy and justice and objectivity in which the professionalism of journalists is based on. Dr. Abati, I also think that you need to rework on your thinking and mentality of shutting people down. You were a former governor aspirant, that's deputy governor aspirant to be precise, in Ogun State in 2019, which means that you are a PDP member. You don't have the right to be a journalist anymore. Let me tell you the truth, because journalism is about objectivity. By the time you declare to APC or PDP, you cannot say anything about that party objectively. Emotional thinking, emotional intelligence to tell you that journalism is like referee, sir. Referee means that if I'm a club like Chelsea and I've been a referee that played for Chelsea before, I don't have the right to post a match between Chelsea and Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man U and co. That is why referee is bound completely to be part of any club, so he can be able to discharge his or her duty very well and responsibly. When you have gone to a party, you are a former essay to media, you have organized a lot of media chat with president. Do you tell me that you have not taken you have not taken a well-paid envelope in dollars back? Can you tell us, Nigeria? The only thing you told us is that your wife, you marry her with juju. You may be saying the truth because I see you cannot do less than that. After all, I understand where you are coming from. But I just come to talk to you. There are people like Verydarkman, that man that lost his wife, and so many Nigerians out here are not finding it easy. And most people are not watching Arise TV because of you. They will watch it because of the tenacity, the professionalism of Rufai and the other young lady sitting on that same table with you, to make sure that Nigeria still get professionalism taste to its best because you are there. I withdraw your attention that your judgments are becoming very judgmental, Your professionalism is getting fake and it's getting expired. And I think it's a matter of discipline, integrity, and value in which professionalism and journalism is known for. You need to resign and call it a day and face politics, because you are becoming very biased in doing your job and it's uncalled for. So many things you have said about Buhari, kind of trying to support every party, you try to play one kind of partisans. You look like a paid journalist as I look at you, and I think it's important to draw your attention and begin to act right.
Verydarkman will not celebrate a birthday. He dedicate her to advocating for young girls that were trafficked to Ivory Coast from Nigeria. Verydarkman will instruct people not to wish him happy birthday, but to please be focused so those girls in Ivory Coast where they traffic, those children where they traffic, can come home and stay and look and cry like all of us where they suffer for the Nigeria. Now I also come talk say they bans Verydarkman from Obi Kubana's birthday. Say he go, they not invite her. And you see these two people where they drag Verydarkman. I don't want to talk to them because I feel say maybe they too they find attention. But come out and lie and try to tarnish this man's integrity. You think it's like you? I don't think you know what Edo men. You know this thing, Edo men. Those men are built differently. Edo man is a man that can never pretend to get anything. He can never accept disrespect just so he gets anything from anybody. You see the one where una they come this abroad. Oyibo woman go they use una like itakwe. Just so now one get paper. Do you know Edo men are the only men on the surface of the planet that can never take that? They will never. They rather not get paper than to take shit from a Igbo woman or any woman at all. I don't think you know who those men are. And the fact that you speak of Verydarkman that way speaks volume about you. You just want to trend. And you tarnish somebody's reputation for it. They bans Verydark. You don't know who Verydarkman is. Verydarkman will not celebrate his birthday. Go ye one person. You think he's a respecter of money? A respecter of what? So he not see party go. He not see where for go shake nyash. He not see where for go shake body. He not see where for go shake head. He not see where for go move leg. He will go to a big... You know who Verydarkman is? How influential he is? Do you know? Do you know if Verydarkman went to that party, he will be the one everybody will focus on? Do you know how influential Verydarkman is? To go to a party that is not invited. Me don't go finish. Obi Kubana na awe party. The next door. Me are here. Obi Kubana. Ijo. Na pocket get money puto. Many was say na. I no get to, but I get where for the borrow. Obi Kubana do party for next door for ye. Ijo. Now you say Verydarkman was bounced. Meme. You think those things Verydarkman were saying and to make him who he is today, it's fabricated. They were not fabricated. Somebody has to say it and he's the one. And not the one I go doing. Go affect that man. Agwa. Uwaya asungu. Why we are wove varie. Why devewa. Why guwa. Why fiawu. Why tuwu then upiabo kwerowa. Very simple. Because you can simply do your own. Make it do your own. You can't just come out. You can drag him for anything else. I said it before. Una fit drag Verydarkman, talk to Verydarkman. I know come out because I will be hypocrite to say, why are you dragging him? You see, coming out and lie. Ogun Ogbera. Your name not even rich. You see those two of una. Una be shit. Isan. Bahio, Enepo, Twa, Pospit, Yahweh Ravi Jueno, Nima Biose, Nima Coco, say. You wear the liquor, Ibo woman, Yash, where they give you paper. Kitchen, you cannot renovate. You are in the kitchen 247. Studio, you could not afford. So you like a particular place, but you could not afford a studio for yourself. And you talk to Verydarkman that helps people monthly. Social media. Everyone just get their phone and talk.
About Verydarkman, Martinose. I appreciate his, enthusiasm, almost like portable, getting overexcited over many things. That's Abibo Okikiola, who now says he wants to fight Anthony Joshua and all that, and he's looking for.
Dr. Ruben Abati, is the fact that you think that you have the moral ground to talk about Verydarkman to the point where you want to water down my efforts in order to create awareness surrounding the trafficking issue by comparing me with Portable? You think you have the moral ground? I mean, you think you thought you have forgotten? Is this not you in EFCC cells? See your belly, see how you did. You and Fanika your day and co. See Una, why did they take you to EFCC? You once had an opportunity to turn things around in the country. What did you do? Let's read what you did. Why we arrested Ruben Abati, EFCC. Let's go to why you were arrested. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission, EFCC, has given reason for the arrest of the former presidential spokesman, Ruben Abati, on Monday. The commission said in a post on its official Facebook that it invited Abati to its headquarters in Abuja to explain his role in an alleged mismanagement of the nation's funds during former Goodluck Ebele Jonathan's administration. The EFCC said Abati honored an invitation by EFCC at the agency's headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. He is presently telling operative of the commission his role in the alleged mismanagement of the nation's resources through his office. We shall keep you posted. Daily Sun, the specific reason Abati was invited, it has to do with the onsa money. The EFCC also arrested and detained former minister of Federal Capital Territory, Bala Mohammed, over 1.2 trillion fraud. Now, if you go to the next side, it says that similarly, the commission has quizzed former special advisor to President Goodluck Jonathan on media publicity, Dr. Abati, in connection with the controversial $2.1 billion arms deal scam in the office of the former office of the National Security Advisor, Onsa Dansuki. It is still unclear how much the anti-graft agency has accused him of collecting from the alleged arms deal. So you see where they carry your name go. No matter how you try to water down me, you can never tag me. EFCC can never on earth pick me for fraud. Pick me for fraud. Even the Portable way they try to pay me with, they can never pick Portable for fraud. Say carry government money where they're supposed to take better people life, you carry on. From nowhere, you don't feel say, okay, yes, 2016 have passed, you did like this, now you sit down for this thing, be a tribal bigot. This is not the first time you are doing this thing for Abike Dabiri. You did it in 2022. So that's why I'm responding to you. You did it in 2022, and I'll play the video as well. You did it in 2022. When they say when Indians were attacking Nigerian students, they were buying Nigerian students. Have you forgotten? When somebody reacted to it, Abike Dabiri called the person I'm not there. And you were on a rise that time to defend her. Again, tribal bigots. I don't even know how you take get doctor for your name. Maybe now you be doctor of doctoring documents. See where they put your name. EFCC carry she your belly, fraudster belly, where you carry. According to EFCC now, what they call you, and you have the audacity. The annoying part of everything he said that day is he could not even open his mouth to highlight anything about the girls, to even educate people about trafficking. He didn't even do that. I was expecting him, okay, as he talked that thing about Verydarkman now, let's wait for him to say, okay, so Nigerians, the immigration, you need to do your part. Nigerians, be careful. You know, these are the measures that we need to take in order to protect our girls, in order to protect our boys from being trafficked. Just went there to try to defend that nonsense, Abike Dabiri, that does not respect Nigerians and does not respect the life of people. Just they there to do a camouflage work. Tribal bigots. Don't try to open your mouth in that your arrive station and talk about me. If you want to talk, let me come to your station. Let's talk about you and what you do with the money that they allege that you stole. When I sit down for that arise, especially you go on, they talk about that people in the country, but when you had the opportunity, see where they put your name. EFCC picked you up with your big belly. They picked you up. See how you did there, black like Judo soon. You be like under pots. Be like under the bed. Very pretty face. Be like my bag, my pouch. You didn't want to judge me. He act like Portable. Like the Portable, you are trying to look like a fool now. You basically now you just try to say we they do things like Mumu. Even the Portable, if they give an opportunity where they give you. Tribal bigots. See the video. Few people let me play the video so that I go know inside it. He did it in 2022 for Abike Dabiri still. Watch.
Reactions have trailed comments made by the chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri, who in a recent Twitter post responded to a comment by using an insulting word while addressing the attack of Nigerian students in India. Well, on October 17th, the video showing Nigerian students being attacked at a university campus near Delhi, where 30,000 Nigerian students study, surfaced online. The chairperson took to Twitter to respond to the tweet, saying that the issue had been resolved. The Twitter user, who felt her response was unsatisfactory, commented using an insultive language, and said that Abike supports a failed government and was equally part of the failure. While responding to the Twitter user's comment, Abike used the word Ode, a Yoruba word for foolish person, which has generated concern from various people, including Obi Ezekwesili, who described the response as messy and asked Abike Dabiri to clean it up. Well, let's take a reaction from Fola, who wrote, "One person whose job is to protect Nigerians in the diaspora and facilitate relationships with the international community just stereotyped the community of Nigerians living in Indonesia because she was personally insulted, a stereotype she should be working hard to dispel." Dr. Abati.
Okay, it's a matter of perspective. There's a lot of abuse, a lot of vitriol on Twitter. What Abike Dabiri did, I thought was in order. When that incident occurred Friday, Saturday, in that university, Goenka University in Gujarat, India, as a result of a football match, and then differences between Nigerians and the Indian students, she put out a statement and said, look, the Nigerian mission stepped in immediately, and that about 83 students, were rescued. The Nigerian mission in India also engaged the authorities, the Indian authorities, and also the school. And they got concrete assurance that the situation will be addressed.
Yes.
And she ended by saying, look, anybody that has any issue should please report to the Nigerian mission in Delhi, who are well apprised of the situation. So very plain, direct statement showing support, emphasizing citizen diplomacy. So I don't...
Abati. You see, it's not your first time. Continue kissing ass. Tribal bigots. You could not open your mouth to say at least. And all those people they defend Abike Dabiri, it's not her first time. You can see. That's who she is. That camouflage she did there, they do. When she knows that they report problem to her every time. You want to know, see that woman a very nonsense person. You know how many times I don't call her attention to Nigerians when they did Libya? She don't talk anything. She don't open her mouth. The moment when she feels the one no concern her, she'll quickly want to use and shine. But for there, she go shoot herself for leg. That Libya one will wait for you with them. People they give you Abati, Fabi Abati, sorry. They talk. You want water me down? You know what I see? For every course where make me the verse. I don't tell you say we don't give government official 24 hours or time. Don't be taxpayers money they who they pay them. And those kids not in diaspora, be send all the traffic victims there for diaspora. Even if the traffic them reach there finish, they don't stay for a long time. Trafficking don't pass. They don't start to suffer. They're in diaspora. Your mouth just there they talk because you won't defend your colleague. Better be careful with me. Better be careful with me. Not people like you can criticize me. You know possible. You had the opportunity. You sat down in power and I will not sit down for power. For good luck ability Jonathan regime. Why for do a lot of things for this country? What I no do. Today you don't come down. See where you go to sit down. Meanwhile, shout out to Rufai and that beautiful lady there. Because as he said the other day, said, let's say they say you won't fight the lady and you won't beat her. Tribal bigots. Gotta be careful, else you go and learn or you will learn the hard way. Don't play.
The presidency has reacted to the United States court ruling ordering the release of records concerning President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's alleged involvement in a drug trafficking case. Well, on April 8th, the United States Court for the District of Columbia ordered the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Drug Enforcement Administration to release records of their investigations concerning the case. The judge ruled that both agencies must search for and process non-exempt records under the Freedom of Information Act. While reacting to the judgment, presidential media aide Bayo Onanuga stated that there is nothing new to be revealed since the reports of the FBI and DEA on the case have been in the public domain for over 30 years. Well, let's take a look at Bayo Onanuga's statement. He wrote on X, "Journalists have sought the presidency's reaction to the ruling last Tuesday by a Washington, D.C. judge ordering the U.S. FBI and DEA to release reports connected with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Our response is as follows. There is nothing new to be revealed. The report by Agent Moss of the FBI and the DEA report have been in public space for more than 30 years. The reports did not indict the Nigerian leader. The lawyers are examining the ruling." I mean, Bayo Onanuga here, Rufai, saying that, the reports that we have seen, I believe we have seen some of these court documents, did not indict President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying that, these are not new allegations. So, I mean, why all the furore?
Okay, but the Agent Moss report also talked about, the conversations around the money in Bola Tinubu's bank account and conversations around forfeiture of $460,000, and that's what we heard. But I'll just take you back historically. Plainside, a growing span of Plainside, had been pushing this for a while, requiring freedom of information to be able to get most of this dossier out, to be able to read them, and it's been blocked. And the rebuttal has always been that there's that. Glomar response, which pretty much says, I cannot confirm nor can I deny. And normally that Glomar response does suffice when you have a case, of secrecy that has to be involved with governmental agencies and national security, because one of the points that have been made by the CIA that, especially when it comes to human sources, the case of that Glomar report will survive. And if you go back historically, the Glomar report goes way back to the 70s, where America had this Glomar Explorer, shape that they want to use for a lot of covert activities. But as regards this, prior to this time, they had taken, with the side of the CIA and those governmental agencies, as regards that Glomar response, that, okay, you can hold, that can hold sway when it comes to FOI requests. But this judge, this district court judge, now Judge Holmer, is now saying that no, because this man is the president of a sovereign, this should be out there in public.
Interest, yeah.
Everybody should be able to see this.
All right.
But the argument that they're still holding is the fact that this is a human resource, of the CIA. This would also, impinge on his privacy, and it will also prevent, further investigations as time goes on. And there's been a contention on the need of the public to know and privacy issues here.
All right.
The judge has also told them that they should backtrack, they should bring back a report on the 2nd of May. So we are waiting for that report. They're going to write an extensive report on that. Most of these agencies, the drug department and other things and all of this.
All right.
And this conversation had been on since the 90s. I think it's best for us to be able to wait on that report. The presidency has reacted and said nothing in that report. I think the position of Kevin Moss is way different from what might be in this report. Because if they claim that it's what's in the public glare, then definitely these agencies will not have gone to court to be able to stop releasing what they know as regards
All right,
it.
let me read an excerpt made by a lawyer from the judgment, just a really short excerpt before we wrap up. They wrote, even the plaintiff acknowledges that Mr. Tinubu's name does not appear directly in these documents. Instead, plaintiff claims merely that it is implausible that no documents responsive to plaintiff's Freedom of Information Act request to the CIA exists, given that the CIA was closely following the issue and would have at least been aware of Mr. Tinubu once he became a prominent politician.
So all of that is subject to the release of the reports of these agencies. We have to wait till May 2. That's a deposition based on a lawyer's argument.
On a lawyer's argument.
So we have to, when they now report to the district judge, Homer, they will be able to know what happened. But you see, in going forward, for the sake of integrity, we shouldn't even have rebuttals as regards preventing, reports like this. Let everything be out in the public.
All right.
Let's be able to see it so we're able to make our inferences and this matter can go away. You forget that some of even these allegations had been put forward in the court during the election petition and it didn't sail through.
Well said.
So there's also going to be a case of jurisdiction. But we need transparency across borders.
Well said. We'll take another story now. Well, some positive news. Following the outcry raised by activist Martin Socher, popularly known as Verydarkman, who highlighted the plight of young Nigerian girls trafficked to Ivory Coast, the chairman of Air Peace Airlines, Dr. Allen Onyema, over the weekend pledged to repatriate the girls free of charge, offering free flights, medical care, and support services. In a press statement, Dr. Onyema condemned the inhumane act of trafficking young Nigerian girls globally and called for collective action, urging the Nigerian embassy in Cote d'Ivoire to identify and gather the victims for repatriation. Onyema further appealed to the federal government to take responsibility for their rehabilitation and education. I mean, this is such a laudable cause by Air Peace Airlines. I mean, this is not the first time that we are seeing that they've always come into the aid of Nigerians, be it, in Sudan, South Africa. We have seen this sort of repatriation. So kudos to them. I know that the airline plans to send the girls to Duchess International Hospital in Ikeja for free medical examinations and treatment. Let me take some tweets because obviously there was, conversation on social media as regards, especially with the responsibility of the federal government. We took this story last week. This is from Michael, who wrote, "Great initiative by Air Peace. This act of compassion and responsibility towards our trafficked girls is truly commendable. It's heartwarming to see corporate entities step up to address such a critical humanitarian issue. Thank you, Air Peace." Another user wrote, "The Nigerian government should really be ashamed that a private individual is doing all this. All those politicians, all they know is embezzlement of funds. And yet some Nigerians will come out to side them and cascade VDM. Some Nigerians don't really deserve the internet." I mean, we did see this attack on Verydarkman, who we applaud, really, because he actually went out there with his own personal funds, did the investigation, and now we have, a private entity like Air Peace saying that he is ready to bring the girls back. Without VDM, we will not have known the story. I mean, of course, Arise highlighted the issue as well here on the show.
I believe it's John F. Kennedy who said that it's not what my country can do for me, but what I can do for my country. I paraphrase, and I think it's beautiful to see patriots. Patriots are people who do not wait for the system to work. They're people who step forward in a time of need where they can see that there's an intervention, a change that they can make. They do it without looking for reward, without looking for favor. And so for that, to Air Peace, to Verydarkman, they need to be congratulated and emulated as well. In our own little jurisdictions, there's a contribution that we can make, and I hope that we can. However, the fundamental issues still need to be addressed.
Absolutely.
There is the issue of porous borders that needs to be highlighted. When we look at these young girls who are being trafficked across the border, there's the issue of course, insecurity, poverty. This is multifaceted. And until we see the root cause of these types of scourges being addressed, we're not going to move forward. So also, as much as we have patriotic Nigerians who are ready to come and advocate and look for solutions, we also need to be patriotic enough to find lasting, sustainable solutions. Look at the vulnerability of those young girls. Can't tell how old they are, but they're certainly not teenagers based off of what I see. What becomes of their futures? Yes, they shall be rehabilitated and so forth, but we need to build a country where we're not constantly rehabilitating people from the trauma of Nigeria happening to them.
Absolutely.
Very, very important. Very quickly, Oji, I know you want to move on. Very quickly before we go, I just want to touch on transparency and how important it is for our leaders to be transparent. I think most people celebrated that this, all of the files concerning this case with the president is being published and all things are being redacted because it speaks to the issue of transparency and how important it is to accountability. Donald Trump yesterday publicized his medical report. They even showed his cholesterol levels, they showed his blood pressure, there was his white blood cell count. It was all there. And it's nothing, we've never seen anything like it before. So I love transparency, even going to that stage where if we can see our leaders' medical reports published as well, that's the level of transparency that we'd like to get.
I mean, I like that point.
Currently.
It may, you never know.
What is me?
Let's
I personally started the charge for every presidential candidate to release their medical reports. Nobody listened. I challenge all of them again.
Well, let's go back to the story of, Air Peace. And, I'd like to just really commend the airline. Rotus, you have a quick comment.
27 million people are trafficked each year, according to the U.S. State Department, right? And which are the countries that come up? You have Afghanistan, Djibouti, Cambodia, Myanmar. If you are a parent and you guard your child, right? You're not going to let your child. There's 20 million children out of school in Nigeria. So there is a system here that has to be decentralized to the state level where we have to, look at the issues of poverty, look at the issues of, insecurity and so on that allows trafficking to happen. Kudos to Air Peace. So they're already giving him props and on
your
YouTube.
Live stream,
yeah. Shout out to the YouTube community. They're all shouting at Air Peace. Air Peace to the rescue again is what our YouTube viewers are saying. So
absolutely.
Well done to Dr. Alan Onyema.
Absolutely. Kudos to Verydarkman, of course, as well. Verydarkman and Dr. Alan Onyema of Air Peace. We'll take another story now. The federal government, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, over the weekend faulted a social media post by the United States Embassy in Abuja and testimonies of Catholic priests at a U.S. congressional hearing regarding the killing of Christians in Benue State. Well, on March 12th, Catholic clerics Bishop Wilfred Anegbe and Reverend Father Ihulia testified before a U.S. committee saying that the experience of Nigerian Christians in Benue State can be summed up as that of a church under Islamist extermination. Bishop Anegbe stated that his diocese in Benue has lost about 15 parishes between 2018 and 2024, with about 140 priests kidnapped or killed and many churches destroyed by Fulani militants. The priests further criticized the Nigerian authorities for failing to stop the killings, while following their testimony, the Catholic priests alleged threats against them. In response, the U.S. mission in Nigeria, in a post on X, stated that it was disturbed by the reports of intimidation and threats against the religious leaders. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a statement, described the claims as inaccurate and misrepresentative of the country's efforts in tackling insecurity. The federal government further reiterated its commitment to protecting the lives and property of all citizens, regardless of their faith or ethnicity, and pledged to investigate any reports of threats or intimidation against the religious leaders. I mean, this was a story that was circulating over the weekend. I know that the religious leaders claimed that, the Fulani militants were killing and displacing Christians. This has been going on for what? decades now. And, they've come out, they've gone to the U.S. Congress to, state their plight. But now we're seeing the federal government saying that, it's a misrepresentation of the facts, it's an act of terrorism, and that they've been doing everything that, they can to protect the people of Benue, the Christians in Benue State.
Oji, with due respect, that was a very lame response by the federal government. Very, very lame. They said nothing. Yeah, we've been fixing insecurity. The question I want to ask the federal government is, are the hard evidences by that Catholic cleric, are they wrong?
They were hard evidences.
Hard evidence. It happened to him. He said they've lost 15 parish. Do they have any other empirical fact to the contrary? No. It's just a sweeping generalization that we're fighting against security. And you see, the federal government makes this mistake a lot. When you criticize against insecurity, they start to vituperate, they start to jakburo. It scratches them like werekwe. You see, the problem is, this report is not only talking about the Tinubu administration. It's talking about from 2018.
Correct.
So Buhari administration is also there, but they take it on because they're the government part, they don't want it. Just like how the Minister of Information had a tiff with the governor of Borno State. You can't know what's happening on ground in Borno like the governor. So please, it's best they take in the criticism and they investigate. The question is it happening? We've seen a lot of kidnapping and killing of Catholic clerics in every part of the country, including Benue. Most of these cases, Oji, are even underreported. The state of insecurity is so rampant that most of the cases are underreported. Most of them don't even get to major news networks. Take, for instance, what happened in Safe yesterday. On Saturday night was probably only reported maybe by the likes of, the ones that Daily Trust are able to pick up and other media. So we must do something against the high level of insecurity. That's why people have called it ethnic cleansing.
Right.
Deliberately targeting a group of people for their land, for resource.
Right.
Which is sad, and also across religious lines.
Right.
But I don't want it to be majorly about religion, because on the flip side, we also have Muslims that have been attacked.
Yes.
As Christians have been attacked, Muslims are also being attacked. But the government should be able to introspect. Look at it. Benue used to be the breadbasket of the nation.
That's
but
it.
What is happening? The same thing happened when the former governor of Benue had to set up his own local, vigilante group to be able to fight. We covered it live at launch here.